Hello, friends. So, today's meditation is about releasing stress, and it's a guided one. And I want you to just follow along because I'm going to teach you something during the meditation that is very powerful to separate yourself from the feelings, especially from stress, and how to work with it effectively so that it is not overpowering or overwhelming you. Okay, so it's a guided meditation, but it's also going to be very, very helpful that you can use at any time for any feeling. So if you're watching this live, please share, and if you're watching the replay, again, please share where you're watching this from and what you would like to get out of it. Intention setting is one of my favorite things to do when it comes to doing meditation. I use meditation time because our time is so limited in general. I use meditation very intentionally. It is not just about calming the body or calming the mind. It is actually, I focus on progressing towards my goals. So even though the topic is about removing stress, hi Melissa, this topic is about removing stress or releasing stress, I will set very specific intentions for what is it that I want the stress what is the stress about? Like whatever that stress is, whatever it is that you're feeling triggered by, what is the outcome you would like to have? And if it's very general, like Melissa saying relaxed and feeling grounded, that's totally fine too. That also works really well. So I'm going to invite you to take some deep, long breaths. Breathing is a very powerful way of connecting with your body and noticing. Meditation is a space, an empty space, where there's so much value in it. There's so much you can get from that empty space. So tap into that empty space. That's where all the downloads happen. That's where all the inspirations come from. So taking some deep, long breaths into your belly, and then letting it out. I'm going to keep my eyes closed throughout this meditation only because and I'm going to invite you to do the same, or keep your attention inwards if you're not in a place where you can close your eyes. Another deep, long breath in and letting it go. Now is the time to set your intention, and if you have any essential oils that you would like to use, this is a good time to use it. I have one specifically that I use for stress that I've made. This is a pre-blend that I make for myself, and I put it on my heart center. And I love putting it on my brainstem and on my wrist. And I'm going to put some on my palm, so I'm going to smell it. And taking some deep, long breaths in, connecting with your body, connecting with the universe, with source, whatever you want to call that, with God. Now we're first going to start with a body scan. Notice where you're feeling the stress in your body. Is it in your shoulders, your belly? Like a tingling sensation somewhere in your body? Whatever it is, the goal is not to remove it. Right now it's just to bring your awareness to it. And keep breathing deep, long breaths. Now, wherever you're feeling that in your body, and sometimes it's just thoughts, whatever it is, invite that part of you to step out of your system, out of your physical body, to give you some space. With the intention of not getting rid of it, but just to understand it better. Because the more you understand why it's here, the less it's going to be gripping on your system. Remember that worry, stress, anxiety, they're all there it's almost like they're there to kind of remind you of something, and this is the only way they know how to do it, and it's a very ineffective way, but these parts of us don't know how else to show that, oh, it's danger. Okay, so this is how they show up. So you can invite that part of you to step outside your body and still staying connected with it. Now I'm going to ask you a question that might sound very strange to you, but go with it, okay? As you tune into this part of you that has stepped out of your system, the stress, the anxiety, whatever that is, what age comes to your mind about this part of you? Just whatever comes to you, the first thing that comes out in your mind is the right answer. There's no right or wrong answer, just go with it. What age does it have? The reason I say this is because stress, anxiety, worry, all of those things are generally very, very young parts of us. Like my worry part is a 5-year-old. And just imagine a 5-year-old trying to run a household, trying to run a business, trying to parent. It's impossible. Of course, the worry is going to come, right? And so it's just an invitation to connect with this part of you. It's programming. It is just conditioning. So you're going to connect with this part of you and see what age it has. And sometimes you'll have flashes of a form, meaning like you as a child. Some of my worry parts are also pre-verbal, if that might help you kind of have a sense of what we're talking about. And if you're completely lost, that's okay. Just stay with this for right now. I will answer all your questions at the end. Again, breathing in. And we are going to just connect with this part to understand why it's here. So you're going to ask this part of you some questions. And as you stay connected with this part of you, ask this part a question. What do you need from me right now? What is your need that hasn't been met? In other words, this part of you may or may not have a verbal answer, so just see what images are flashing, or if you have a sense of it. Like my younger part just wants a hug and wants to hear everything's gonna be okay. That's it. Just like my 5-year-old. My 5-year-old just wants a hug, right? It's similar to that. So if you're having a hard time, connect with this part of you like how you would connect with your child or with your pets. They're the easiest way to connect. And any sounds that you're hearing, think about it more as a way to get deeper into connection with what's happening rather than as a distraction. It's just part of this whole process. And if this part would let you, see if you can get closer to this part of you. Come in eye contact with this part of you. Again, sometimes these parts will not let you get too close to them because they're not sure what to expect, and that's okay. Whatever is happening in your mind's eye, in your meditation, is totally fine. Now you can let this part of you know that you are here to help, you are here to hold space, and you're here to just receive information. Now, if you need more time to do this, you can pause this video if you're watching the replay and go back and just make space to just listen and keep a notebook handy and start writing them down. But now we're going to do some healing work with this part of you, okay? So I'm keeping this short because of, it's a recording. And so what I'm going to invite you to do right now is take your attention to a few 100 feet above your head. I call this like the happy space. I call this where I can connect with source, with divine, with God, with universe, whatever term you want to call that. That's it, like immediate access to the divine. And imagine from that space a column of bright, sparkly, silvery light coming down onto the crown of your head. Like a rain, but this is like really nice, warm, comforting rain. Coming down through the crown of your head, down your face, just enveloping you in this beautiful, warm, amazing energy. Down your chest, your hands, your fingers, down your abdominal area, further down through your feet, your knees, the soles of your feet, and it's going to go, this column of light is going to go down directly to the center of the earth. And that's where I often feel the presence of Mother Earth, of Gaia, and her holding space for us. We're all children of her, just holding us in her arms. And that energy coming back up through the soles of your feet, back into your heart center. Kind of just this, you're being enveloped in this blanket of pure, bright, silvery light, which is very healing. And from this heart center, it is going to directly go to the part of you that's outside of you, that is stressed, that is anxious. You're going to envelop her or him in this blanket of pure white light. Like both of you are enveloped completely, like this circle of light around you. And keep breathing, taking some deep, long breaths. Okay, now I want you to do one more thing. You can open your eyes for this for just a split second. Watch what I'm doing. Keeping the palms of your hands connected a few inches apart, like this. Just notice the energy between the palm. And if you do this, you can just feel the energy. Okay? Now imagine that white silvery light coming in from your heart center onto the palms of your hand. It's like this column forming between your fingers, between the palm of your hand. And let the energy just build. Okay, and when you feel like the energy is built enough, I want you to do one thing. Wherever you felt the stress in your body, in your belly, in your back, in your shoulders, wherever, head, wherever it was, I want you to place the palm of your hand on that spot. Right there. And as you're doing this, I want you to imagine placing the same palm onto that part of you that's outside of you. It's like another level of healing. Another deep, long breath in. Let it go. And each time you breathe in, you can imagine breathing that white silvery light into your system and breathing out stress, anxiety, worry from your mouth. And then you can relax your hands back on your lap. Now connect back with the part of you, the anxious part of you, the stressed part of you. Just connect and see how she's doing. You can invite her to come back and reside in your heart center. It's like the safe space for her. She can be there. And if that's too much, you can even ask her, where would she like to be? Would she like to go and play somewhere? My young parts like to go and cuddle with my dog, who's not here anymore, like cuddle with him in his bed. And so I often just imagine her going and like cuddling with my dog, and they're like happily hanging out. So you can just bring in any such imagery to that part of you. And then when you're ready, you can just take some deep, long breaths in. Again, pause the video whenever you need to. And when you're ready, you can come back into this room, feeling your body, sitting on the chair, on the wherever you're sitting. And open your eyes. So I would love to hear how this was. I love using meditation as a healing modality for whatever I'm doing, and you can too. It's so simple to use, just this kind of imagery, and you can play this video over and over again if you want for whatever you're doing. Okay, so let me know how this was, and if you have any questions, please put in the comments and I will definitely answer them. Yes, I can't see anymore right now. Sometimes it's a delay, but all right, guys, if you have oh, thank you, Brenda. Brenda's saying she likes the light imagery. I know, it's very, very comforting. I do that even when I'm sitting with my kids, or if I'm driving somewhere and there's traffic, and instead of feeling stressed, I turn inwards and do this, and it's very, very calming. I teach my kids to do that at night before we go to bed. Like, you know, my 2-year-old, obviously, she has some understanding. She doesn't understand that fully, but I do it with her, and she gets what she gets. It's about planting seeds, right? I do this with my 5-year-old, and he responds really well. So you can do these things with people around you. You can even imagine that for them, especially if they're young kids, they're having a hard time. I kind of imagine doing the same thing with them, and it works out really well. All right, so yeah, I mean, like with young children, like it is all about planting the seeds, right? And it's about teaching them that the world is a safe place. There's love everywhere. That's all we want them to know. And so these are great ways to do that. And it also makes them feel empowered to do this for themselves as they get older and older, instead of turning to something else for that comfort. Okay, so if you have any other questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will connect with you later. Take good care and have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed weekend. Bye.